The quiet between us. Emma always believed silence had weight. Not the comfortable kind, the soft hush of a Sunday morning, or the peaceful quiet after rain, but the heavy, pressing kind. The kind that filled a room and settled into your chest, making it hard to breathe. Lately, her home had been full of that silence. It started small. It always did. Daniel used to come home and talk about work, about people Emma had never met, about things that didn't matter but somehow meant everything because he shared them. They used to laugh over burnt dinners and argue about movies and fall asleep tangled together, like nothing in the world could pull them apart. But now, he came home tired. Or so he said. Long day, he would mutter, loosening his tie, avoiding her eyes. At first, Emma didn't question it. Life got busy, people changed. She told herself that love didn't always look like laughter, sometimes it looked like patience. But patience has a limit, and silence leaves clues. It was the way he smiled at his phone, not often, but just enough. A flicker of something she hadn't seen directed at her in months. It was how he started taking calls in the hallway, how he showered immediately after coming home, how he stopped asking her about her day. Emma noticed everything. She just didn't want to believe it. One evening, the silence broke, but not in the way she hoped. Daniel had left his phone on the kitchen counter. It buzzed once. Emma stared at it from across the room, her heart already racing as if it knew something she didn't. She shouldn't look. She knew she shouldn't. Trust wasn't about checking, it was about believing. But what if belief had already cracked? The phone buzzed again. This time, her feet moved before her mind could stop them. She glanced at the screen. "I miss you already." No name, just a number. But the message wasn't meant for her. Emma's hands went cold. She didn't open it. She didn't need to. The words were enough, simple, soft, and devastating. "I miss you already." When had someone last said that to her? That night, she lay beside Daniel, staring at the ceiling while his breathing deepened into sleep. Or at least, she thought he was asleep. "Who is she?" she whispered into the darkness. The breathing stopped. For a moment, the entire world seemed to pause. Then he turned. "What?" His voice was too alert, too careful. Emma swallowed. "I saw the message." Silence again, but this time it wasn't empty. It was sharp, tense, alive with everything unsaid. "It's nothing," he said finally. Emma let out a soft, broken laugh. "Nothing doesn't say I miss you already." "Daniel." He sat up, running a hand through his hair. "You're overthinking it." "No," she said quietly. "I think I've been underthinking it for a long time." The truth didn't come all at once. It came in pieces, in reluctant admissions, in half answers and long pauses. Her name was Clara. It had started innocently, it always did. A co-worker, late meetings, shared stress. Someone who listened, someone who noticed him. Emma felt something twist inside her at that word. Noticed. Had she stopped noticing him, or had he stopped letting her? "I didn't plan it," Daniel said, his voice low. "It just happened." Emma looked at him, really looked at him, as if trying to find the man she had married hidden somewhere behind the stranger sitting in front of her. Things don't just happen, Daniel. People make choices. He flinched. Good, she thought. At least something still reached him. Days passed, but the silence didn't return. Instead, there were words too many, too sharp, too late. Arguments that circled the same questions. Do you love her? No. Do you love me? A pause. I don't know. That hurt more than anything else. Not the betrayal, not the lies, but the uncertainty. Emma started noticing other things now. How small their world had become. How much of herself she had given without realizing she was disappearing. She had built a life around us. And now, us was breaking apart. One evening, she stood by the window, watching the city lights flicker in the distance. Daniel was behind her. "I ended it," he said. She didn't turn around. "Why?" "Because I don't want to lose you." Emma closed her eyes. The words sounded right, but they didn't feel right. "Did you ever think you already did?" she asked softly. "Love doesn't always end with a dramatic goodbye. Sometimes, it fades. Quietly. Slowly. Sometimes, it breaks and tries to rebuild. And sometimes it changes into something unrecognizable." Emma turned to him. For the first time in weeks, her voice was calm. "I don't know if I can trust you again. I'll do anything," Daniel said quickly. She believed that he meant it. But meaning something isn't the same as undoing what's been done. "I know," she said, "but this isn't about effort. It's about time, and honesty, and whether we still have something real left." He nodded, though his eyes were full of fear. "Do we?" he asked. Emma didn't answer right away. She stepped past him, into the quiet hallway, where the silence no longer felt heavy but uncertain, like a road not yet chosen. Maybe, she said finally, and for the first time, maybe didn't feel like hope. It felt like a question. The word maybe lingered in the air long after Emma left the room. Daniel didn't follow her. Not because he didn't want to, but because, for the first time, he didn't know how. That night, they slept in the same bed, but something invisible had split it in two. Emma lay turned away from him, her body stiff, her breathing measured. Daniel stared at the ceiling, replaying every moment that led to this. He remembered the first time he met Clara. It was raining that day. 6 months earlier, Clara wasn't what he expected. She didn't try too hard, didn't laugh too loudly, didn't lean in or flirt in obvious ways. She just listened, really listened. "You look like someone who hasn't slept in weeks," she said casually during their second late meeting. Daniel laughed. "Is it that obvious?" "Only to people who feel the same." That was the moment. Not when he touched her hand. Not when they first stayed late together. But that simple recognition, someone sees me. Back then, Emma was still there, physically, but something between them had already started to fade. They had stopped asking questions, stopped being curious, stopped trying, or at least, that's what Daniel told himself. Back to the present, Emma didn't cry. That's what scared Daniel the most. He almost wished she would scream, break things, throw something at him, anything that would make this feel less controlled, less final. But Emma had gone quiet in a different way now. Not heavy, not suffocating, but distant. The next morning, she made coffee like always. Same mug, same routine. But she didn't look at him. "I'll be late today," she said. "Work?" he asked. She hesitated. "No." That single word hit harder than any accusation. "Where are you going?" Emma picked up her bag. "I think I need to remember who I am without you." And then she left. Emma sighed. The city felt different when she walked alone. Not sad, not empty, just unfamiliar. Emma realized something terrifying. She didn't remember the last time she had done something just for herself. Not for Daniel, not for their life, just her. She ended up in a small cafe she used to visit years ago. Before marriage, before routine, before everything became predictable. She sat by the window, watching strangers pass by. Everyone had a story, everyone had secrets. And now she did too. Her phone buzzed. A message from Daniel. "Please come home early, we need to talk." Emma stared at it, then locked her phone. For the first time in a long time, she didn't feel the need to answer immediately. Daniel sighed. He couldn't sit still. The apartment felt wrong without Emma in it. Too quiet, too honest. He walked into the kitchen, then the living room, then back again, like he was trying to escape something that lived inside his own head. Finally, he grabbed his phone, scrolled, stopped. Clara. Their chat was still there. He hadn't deleted it. Not yet. His thumb hovered over her name. Then, a new message appeared. "Clara, are you okay?" His chest tightened. For a moment, everything blurred. Emma. Clara. Guilt. Comfort. Chose. He typed. Stopped. Deleted. Typed again. "I told her." 3 dots appeared instantly, and Daniel stared at the screen. What was the answer? Collision. Emma came home late. The lights were on. Daniel was sitting on the couch, phone in his hand, like he had been waiting for hours. Maybe he had. "We need to talk," he said again. Emma took off her coat slowly. "I know." She walked in, but didn't sit next to him. Distance, deliberate, honest. "Did you talk to her today?" she asked. Daniel froze. That was not the question he expected. "Yes." Emma nodded. "Good, good," he repeated, confused. "Yes," she said calmly, "because now I know you're still choosing. I told you. I ended it." "No," Emma interrupted, her voice still quiet but sharper now. "Ending something isn't a sentence you say once. It's a decision you keep making." That hit hard. The truth beneath the truth. "Why did you really do it?" Emma asked. Not angry, not accusing, just tired. Daniel swallowed. "I felt alone." Emma let out a slow breath. "So did I." The words hung between them, equal, heavy, undeniable. "You had a choice," she continued. "You could have come to me." "I try," he said. "When?" she asked. He opened his mouth, closed it. He couldn't remember. Not clearly. And that was the answer. Breaking point. "I don't know if I can stay," Emma said. Daniel's heart dropped. "Emma, I'm not saying I'm leaving forever," she added quickly. I'm saying I don't know who we are anymore. She looked at him not with anger, but with something worse. Clarity. You didn't just betray me, she said. You changed the story I believed about my own life. Daniel had no defense for that, because it was true. The choice ahead that night. Emma packed a small bag. Not everything, just enough. Where will you go? Daniel asked quietly. My sister's, for now. He nodded, like he had no right to ask for more. And maybe he didn't. At the door, Emma paused. I don't hate you, she said. Daniel looked out, surprised. I think that would be easier. She gave a faint, sad smile. But this, she added, this is harder. The door closed. Softly, but it echoed louder than anything.